Whenever I think about my life and things that I enjoy and make my life feel full, traveling never really features in it. And for a while, I thought that something was wrong with me because of that. And even at some point, I generated the idea that I desire to travel the world. But actually, I don't. So welcome to episode 316 of A Couple of Things Your Friday podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about just the idea of what it means to really live your life to the fullest. If you listen to yesterday's episode that I had with my friend Onyinye, we talked about contentment, and it was triggered by a question that somebody had sent in about how to do with jealousy, which I had actually answered previously, but I wanted to talk with her about as well. And in the course of that conversation, I just talked about how when I actually thought about it, I realized that I'm not really into the idea of solo traveling the world or whatever. I don't really care. I don't want to travel to 100 countries in 1 year or 20 countries in 1 year. Like, I don't care. The thing that I enjoy about traveling is mostly when I do it with my friends, when I'm going on a group trip with people. So traveling for me is only beneficial or important if it's a means of connecting with people, particularly people that I already know, my actual friends, or an opportunity to meet more people. And not like I'm not trying to connect with people around the world or whatever. More like as a group trip, whether I know all the people on the trip or not, so but at least I have one mutual friend with other people who are on that trip, or there's a connecting point, a person that connects everyone, basically, sort of. And that is the only context in which I enjoy traveling. My quote unquote solo trips have been to visit friends. So I go to a city where my friend lives, and that's my trip. And I have done a couple of day trips within the Netherlands. I've done maybe one or two, which was nice as well. But my point is really that this whole traveling to multiple countries or traveling to somewhere or the other for whatever, it doesn't really mean anything to me. But there was a point where I started to tell myself, oh, this is a goal that I actually have, because I kept seeing it everywhere. Like everyone was doing travel vlogs and how to travel here and how to travel there. And I started to tell myself that I wanted that. But when I really thought about it, I realized that I don't want that. Like, given the option between a trip, like a solo trip on my birthday, or hosting a huge party with all the people I know, I will pick hosting a huge party with all the people I know. Because for me, I realize that what is more important for me is connection and community and people more than these kinds of experiences. So the experiences I have with these people are more important to me than solo traveling or whatever. Now, are there things that I like to do by myself? Yes, I do a lot of things by myself without other people being involved. But the only way that I've actually enjoyed traveling is with people. I don't enjoy traveling otherwise. The most I would do is a day trip to a city not too far from where I am. And yeah. So the point of all of this is, number one, it's okay to admit you don't like traveling. You're not uncultured or whatever. In fact, if people think you're uncultured, that's their personal problem. I don't really care. But you're not less of you're not less enthusiastic about your life if you don't like traveling. You're not living your life to the fullest if you don't travel to 180 countries, and if you don't climb Mount Everest, and if you don't do this or if you don't do that. You get to decide for yourself what you like and what makes your life feel full and meaningful. And if that is taking walks in the evening on the beach or on the road or whatever that looks like for you, that is fine. The idea that there is one way that means that if you do this one thing your life is more meaningful or you are more experienced or more cultured is such rubbish, and it's really causing problems for a lot of people. And the only way to overcome this thing, at least one way that helps you overcome, is to actually disconnect from social media. Because like me and Onye talked about yesterday, one of the things that you start to think that you want things because you see it a lot. You see a lot of people have it, and the lot of people that you see have it, they are not even representative of the vast majority of the world. More people don't have that thing than have it, and so you start to think that, oh, you actually want all these things. There's an example that one of somebody that I follow and follow online and everything really gives a lot is about PDA, for example. She hates PDA, but because she said one time she was just on Twitter, no, on Instagram, and all the posts she was seeing was PDA posts, and then she went to go and meet her husband and why don't we do this, blah blah. And he's like, you don't like this, you actually hate this, you told me from the very beginning of the relationship that you hate this. And the only reason why she was feeling upset at her husband about something that she hated was because she had seen it so much on social media. So the point is, like, you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like. If you don't like PD, you don't like PD. If you don't like flowers, you don't like flowers. Like, all these things, don't let other people's conception of what they find to be enjoyable and meaningful for them define what is enjoyable and meaningful for you. Find what is meaningful for you and spend your energy and your time on those things. It doesn't have to be a solo trip to 100 countries in the world. I don't know why I keep saying 100, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be a trip to visit your friend. It could be a group trip with your friends. It could even not feature traveling at all. Like, that's the point. It could be anything. It is your life. It is, you decide, you figure out what it means for you to live your life to the fullest. For me, that looks like following my interests. If today I want to go into baking, I'm just going to go baking. If I want to do boxing, I'm just going to do it. If I want to swim, I'm just going to go do swimming. It's like following my interests, and it doesn't have to be like a really deep thing that becomes my whole personality, like now I'm a boxer or whatever. It's just, this is a thing that I am following to wherever, let's see where it leads me to. And that is, for me, what living my life to the fullest is exploring all the multiple dimensions of myself that I uncover and see what that looks like. And it doesn't mean that maybe in 10 years, 15 years, I might be like, oh, maybe now I want to travel or whatever. And that's fine, because as a person you change, and the interests you have change, and the things you like change, and so on and so forth. So it's okay if in 15, 20 years I'm like, oh, I would like to do a solo trip to whatever many countries in the world. That's okay, because again, it's me, my life is me deciding that this is the expression of what will make me feel happy and fulfilled, and help me find meaning or whatever in this particular, at this particular point of my life. And yeah, that's my rant for today. Thank you for listening. So for our number facts, today is the 317th day of the year, November 12, 2024, and this is episode 316, and there are 49 days left in the year. 49. And 49 is a fun number, because a lot of all the fun facts I have today are about squares, like square root and square. So 49 is the square of 7. It is also the fourth squared prime number. So of all the prime numbers, 49 is the fourth one that is a square. And then 49 is the first square where the digits are squares. So it's the first square where the first digit of it is a square, and the second is a square. 4 is the square of 2, and 9 is the square of 3. That is such a fun random fact about the number 49. I couldn't really find anything really exciting about today in history, but today in 1990, Tim Berners-Lee published a formal proposal for what is now known as the World Wide Web. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.